Hello everyone, my name is Master Steve, and welcome back to some more Hunting Simulator 2. This is probably going to shock some people that I'm making a 10-minute long Hunting Simulator 2 video, but I've decided that I don't know, try making some more long-form content for this game because I'm actually enjoying it more and actually having a lot of fun with it. And before we actually get into this video, I do want to say thank you all so much for the month of September. I went up 100 subs in September, and that is the most I've ever gone up in 1 month, so thank you all for supporting the channel. And my goal is to just kind of keep getting better and producing more content. So to start off this hunt in the Roosevelt forest, I went out in the afternoon in the rain, and I spent about, I don't know, maybe about an hour, 2 hours. It's going to be kind of the highlights of that. So the first animal I come across is a grizzly bear, which actually I was kind of shocked with. Usually these are kind of hard to find. And this one was in that Central Valley area, kind of more towards the northern part of the map. And this one actually was pretty good size, and I was quite pleased with this. This one's kind of funny, actually, because if you look very closely, there's a little fox following this grizzly bear, which is kind of interesting. So, you know, kind of nice to get a little escort, but the first shot was kind of not it, was not lethal. The second follow-up shot was exactly what we needed, got right in the back, and he's going to drop really nicely right there. And we're starting off our hunt with a beautiful grizzly bear. So, already super profitable, looking good so far. So I went and harvested this guy, and I started just kind of keep wandering around, see what else I could find. I went my way up north, kind of towards that little fast travel cabin up there, and I found a moose, which, you know, again, another really high profitable animal, so super happy with that. But it didn't quite go as expected. I did not manage to finish this one off. This one was kind of difficult, actually. So the angle of which he was coming up, I mean, as you can see, he's twitching and moving like super quickly, and I'm like, that's weird. So I tried going for more of a higher shot on him because I feel like if you aim too low on a moose, you know, they run too. There's like a sweet spot I just can't quite find. And so he goes running off, and at this point I'm like, I don't know if I can get him or not. I'm trying to track him through the trees. So I'm trying to predict where he's going to show up next because, again, when he first showed up, he was kind of moving around sporadically. So trying to see if maybe there's something I can do. And, you know, his little marker shows up. And I do my best. If I get one more shot in, kind of a blind shot, it does land. And I did track him for a little bit, but, I mean, I came up with nothing. So kind of disappointing there, but whatever. So I moved my way up to the northwest portion of the map by that lake up there. And I actually, you know, I came across a little group of white-tailed deers. I had one off to my right, but it ended up just being a female, which you can't hunt in this game. And this guy over here was actually relatively decent. So he comes getting close, and already he's getting alerted, which is, you know, a little concerning. He does have one behind him as well. And I'm trying to make sure I get up nice and close and get the final shot off on him. And he just stops and gets alerted, and I don't want to lose this one. So I quickly run around this side of the tree, and while he's on the run, I mean, he is going back and forth relatively quickly. And the first shot I missed, the second shot, perfect, insta-kill. Got him down relatively easy there. I didn't want to. I always hate when they're on the run like that, but that one went pretty well. And once I got up here to him, I realized, well, he's actually not. He's not great, but he'll work. You know, we'll settle for that. So next, I was kind of back in that middle portion of the map, just kind of looking around, trying to see what else I can find. I did find this little elk down here, and elk are just kind of fun because they're always they're always a decently high profitable animal. I mean, 750 credits for one is actually pretty well, and most of the time they come in pairs, which I like because that's usually quick 1,500. And if you're just trying to make some easy money, they're definitely your best option here. So lured this one in, just like to make sure I'm always staying extra still, and just kind of make sure I'm using my collar as much as possible, because every time you use the collar, the animal is going to walk on a straight line towards you, and that's the best way to get the shot lined up. So this guy comes up nice and close, and I mean, like I said, super easy shot here, not going to take very long. The antlers on this one are kind of a disappointment. I did put one more shot into him just to finish him off, because I don't like tracking animals forever in the rain. If it wasn't raining, I wouldn't care. One shot would have been enough, but every time it's raining, it just annoys me so much because it's so hard to track, and I didn't have my dog with me on this one, so like I said, I wanted to make sure I finished him off. And so this is kind of where it got interesting. I'm over on the right-hand side of the map, on the right side of the lake, and I mean, I don't ever really come over here that often. And I mean, I'm just doing my normal, like, I'm just cycling through all my calls, trying to see what will respond to me, because I never really go over here and I don't know what to expect. and I didn't even know it was possible to find this over here. But as I'm running through the trees, a grizzly bear actually decides that it is within, it's super close to me. I have never ever seen one over here. I didn't even know it was possible. So this one, this one honestly kind of freaked me out because I'm like, I do not want to lose this. I mean, anytime you find a grizzly bear in this game, that's a guaranteed trophy. And the first shot was a lethal hit right behind the shoulder, which was super nice. And it didn't take me too long to track. Like I said, it was a little hard in the rain, and he did go right through the brush, so it did take me a second. Like I said, this part, I'm always like I always hate doing this in the rain because I always get lost, and it never works out well for me most of the time. But kind of just took it slow, and I actually managed to harvest this grizzly bear, and I mean, super pleased. So that's 2 in 1 hunt, which honestly for me is kind of rare. Most of the time I'm lucky to see one, but 2 in 1 session is actually pretty good. So I went back up to the northern part of the map just to kind of see what else I could find, and I like working this kind of northern fork in the river because down here usually there's a black bear and sometimes there's a moose. So I feel like it's a pretty decent area in the game to kind of play around with. And as I'm over here, I do get a call back from a deer over here. And I'm thinking, okay, I never like to pass up an animal. So I'm thinking, all right, let's see what this deer has going on. And I'm just kind of see if I can get the marker to show up through the brush. I can't quite see it. I'm going to call out to it again, see if I can get a response. I do. And as I'm looking through here, there it is. And of course, it's a female mule deer. And you can't hunt females in this game, so that's the end of that. And so I keep working my way up the northern part of the map, and I mean, you get streaks in this game where you truly don't run into anything, and it's defeating at times, but you get through it. So I'm just following this fork in the river, and this is just kind of what I do. I like to just, follow a distinct path and just keep, cycling through my calls and seeing what I can get a response from. And of course, on this one, I get a response from a mule deer, and it's a male, so I can actually kill this thing. And so I'm looking at my surroundings, and I'm like, okay, I actually have a pretty decent setup, but every single time before I do this, I like to look around just one last time because I always blow all of my collars, and I like to see, just like you want to make sure there's not like a bear or a moose coming down. You want to make sure the most valuable animal is prioritized. But in this scenario, the only thing we have is this deer. So I'm just going to lay down in the brush right here and see if I can get it to come in. And sure enough, he's working his way down the hill. And just the best part about this is that we're in a super wide open area. We have plenty of room to work with. And this is going to go super, super well. So he's coming down through the brush. I'm just being patient. There's no need to move right now. Patience is super key to this. And I just want to make sure as soon as he comes out of the brush, I can get the best shot possible on him. So here he comes, and I mean, I can't quite see the antlers yet. Hopefully it's a decent one. It probably should be. He's alone. Most of the time if they're alone, they actually have a pretty decent size antlers. And sure enough, this guy actually has a pretty nice rack on him. So super happy about that. Pull out my rifle and make sure, get a nice shot on him. Easy, lethal shot. Consider the second shot, but he goes down relatively quickly. So actually, that was probably one of the best mule deer we got out of this hunt. So super pleased with that. And we're just going to go harvest that real quick and continue on and see what else we can find out here. So, like I said, pretty decent antlers on him. And after that, what I did was I kind of just roamed back down along the river. And, of course, what do I find? I find a female mule deer, which is absolutely useless. So, going to move on from that, not worry about that. And I kind of kept working my way around, just seeing what else I could find. And, of course, there is another mule deer out here. And I do actually like hunting mule deer quite a lot. I find them quite satisfying. You can find there is a legendary animal, there's a legendary mule deer in Roosevelt Forest. That's kind of fun to hunt. I've only ever run into it like once or twice, so it's super rare to find, and I'm always on the lookout for that. But overall, mule deer are just a very satisfying animal in this game. So this guy's coming down through the trees, trying to stay as still as I possibly can, and here he comes right down at the end of the brush. I want to make sure he's as close as I can get him. And I mean, it's just kind of super hard right here. He's starting to get alerted. And I'm trying to make sure I don't lose him. And honestly, the antlers on him are not terrible. They're not the biggest, but pretty decent. And I go ahead and put a second shot in him just to make sure I can finish him off. I don't want to lose him. And that'll be a nice quick kill right there. Super easy. And so this last one, this will be the last clip of this video. So we're going to wrap it up right here. one final deer, I believe, is what I got. I believe it's a whitetail, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I found this group of deer over here. And, I mean, they're on the other side of this ridge line, so I just kind of lured them in. And it was actually a pretty decent way to finish this off. So, this is going to be the end of this video. So, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you like and subscribe for more. I am going to be trying to do a little bit more with the long-form content regarding this game, just because it seems to be getting a lot of support, and I really do appreciate, just the amount of support we got through September. My channel got 60,000 views in 1 month, which is, that's huge. I really, really enjoyed that, and your guys' support, and just, there's been so many nice comments and stuff. It's meant a lot to me, and I'm just really trying to work hard at this and just get better and just, create better content overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.